Ah, this is so nice! Genuine leather! Today we're gonna look at the Sennheiser Momentum 3 wireless headphones and how they stack up to the Sony WH-1000XM3. These retail for $400, which is quite a bit more than the Sony's $350 asking price. Nonetheless, we're still gonna see how they stack up in terms of noise cancelling performance, sound quality, and voice microphone quality. But first, we're gonna talk about the Sennheiser's features and specs, and then we'll move on to the noise cancelling test. In terms of build quality, the Sennheisers are definitely better than the Sony's. Stainless steel headband, genuine leather cushions, it overall feels more premium, more expensive than the Sony's plastic and rubber construction. These headphones don't have a physical power button. Instead, it's got sensors in the hinges so that when you fold the headphones in, it switches the headphones off. If you want to switch the headphones back on, you fold it back out, like this. And it's also got sensors in the ear cups which tell the headphones to pause the music when you take the headphones off. So in this respect, it's very similar to the Jabra Elite 85H that I reviewed not too long ago. If you want to watch that review, you can click on this video over here. It's got up to 17 hours of battery with noise cancelling, which sort of pales in comparison to what the Sonys have, which is like 30 hours. But it supports Bluetooth 5.0, AAC, SBC, and aptX codec, and it also supports aptX low latency. So with devices that support aptX low latency, you can expect better audio to video latency performance. In contrast, the Sonys, they support the legacy Bluetooth 4.2 protocol, and they don't support aptX low latency. What they do support, however, is SBC, AAC, aptX, and aptX HD codecs, and also Sony's proprietary LDAC codec. So with the Sonys, audiophiles can have a bigger range of Bluetooth codecs they can choose to stream from. And just like the Sonys, the Sennheisers also have an app that lets you perform software updates over the air and other settings as well, including customizing the way you want the Sennheisers to sound like according to your personal tastes using a rather simple graphic equalizer. Unlike the Sonys, you don't get any touch controls with the Sennheisers. Instead, they use physical buttons. All of the control buttons are on the right ear cup. You've got a button that lets you toggle between the various noise cancelling modes. You've got noise cancelling off, full noise cancelling, and transparency mode. You've got also 3 buttons that let you control your volume, music, phone call, and voice assistant, and a dedicated button for Bluetooth pairing. The headphones charge using USB-C, and it's also got a 3.5mm audio input jack in case the headphones run out of battery and you need to plug it into your device. Alright, now it's time for the noise cancelling test. As usual, I will be putting on some really loud cafe background noise, and then I'm going to switch between the Sennheisers and the Sonys, and then we'll see which of these headphones have the better noise cancelling performance. First the Sennheisers, then the Sonys. I thought the Sennheisers performed pretty well in terms of noise cancelling, but as it turns out, the Sonys outperformed the Sennheisers in terms of passive noise isolation and active noise cancellation. Okay, now it's time for the voice microphone test. As usual, I will be putting on the same cafe background noise as before, and then I'm going to record a voice memo on my phone, starting with the Sennheisers, then I'm going to switch over to the Sonys. This time around, I'm going to say something different. I'm going to say, you know what? All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. How's that? I'm just kidding. We are still going to stick with the quick brown fox. Background noise, record. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. What can I say? I think the Sennheiser's voice microphone system sounded way better than the Sony's. Background noise cancellation was near total. It was almost complete silence until I began speaking, and then the microphone system seems to very quickly pick up my voice and amplified it so well that my voice sounded pretty loud and clear. And only when I stopped speaking, it returns to that near total silent state, which is, it's almost like magic, really. The Sony's, in contrast, it did cancel quite a lot of background noise, but you can still pick up some of that background noise here and there. And then my voice through the Sony's sounded a lot more muffled. It was loud, it was clear to a certain extent, but it sounded muffled compared to what I got from the Sennheisers. So in terms of voice microphone quality, these Sennheisers win hands down. But what do you guys think? Which of these headphones sounded better to you? Tell me in the comments section below. Now let's talk about how they compare in terms of sound quality out of the box. Okay, so this is without any EQ setting applied to either one of them. The Sennheisers had a more gentle, laid-back sound signature compared to the Sony's. In contrast, I think the Sony's have a little more bite, a little more brightness in its sound. So while the Sony's sounded more exciting, the Sennheisers sounded very gentle and forgiving, and thus very soothing to listen to. It also has a very nice, clear track separation, very clean sound. Its bass performance, bass extension is quite similar to that of the Sony's, but I gotta say that the Sennheiser's bass did have a little more texture in it, and so as a result I sorta enjoyed the Sennheiser's bass a little more than on the Sony's. Like I said, its track separation is very clean, it's got very nice mids and highs. Its highs are clear yet gentle and smooth at the same time, but its sound staging is what really sets this apart from a lot of other headphones out there. It is open, it is detailed, and it is more hi-fi. Though the Sony's sound staging is also quite natural and detailed, the Sennheisers seem to perform better than the Sony's in this specific regard, and it also offers a more open soundstage than the Sony's. The Sennheisers also have a very nice timbre to its mid-range, so vocals sound very sweet, and guitar strings, string instruments in general, also sound more realistic. So while the Sony's also perform very well at vocals and string instrumental tracks, these Sennheisers are very addictive to listen to, and thus in terms of overall sound quality out of the box, I give my vote to the Sennheisers. So the Sennheisers sound great, and they've got an almost magical voice microphone quality compared to the Sony's. But what else do I think of the Sennheisers? And should you spend $400 on a pair of headphones like these ones? These are very comfortable to wear. They are just about as comfortable as the Sony's. You can wear them for hours on end. Maybe they will feel a little warm after a while because, after all, these are genuine leather cushions. But in terms of clamping pressure and all that, I've got no problems with the Sennheisers whatsoever. I was a little skeptical at first because the Sennheisers have a stainless steel headband, and the headband didn't seem to flex as much as the Sony's. So in terms of comfort, I was a little leery, but after wearing them for a couple of hours, just listening to its sound, comparing them with the Sony's, these feel just about as comfortable as the Sony's. So comfort wise, you've got nothing to worry about. Build quality, also nothing to worry about here. Genuine leather cushions, they don't flake off or wear out like synthetic leather cushions, the type that you find on other headphones, including the Sony's, by the way. These patinate, they age with time, so they require very little maintenance. Maybe the occasional leather conditioner on the cushions, just a little bit will do. But apart from that, stainless steel headband, very sturdy build, hefty. Yeah, I gotta say that requires very little maintenance. Build quality is excellent. It's very simple to operate too, very straightforward. Unfold the headphones to switch on, fold it back in to switch off. Voice prompts are there. It's got buttons. How much more straightforward can you get than that? But the very first thing that I don't quite like about these headphones is where the buttons are located. Somehow I feel that the buttons should not be located all the way behind the right ear cup, because when I want to toggle between the different noise cancelling modes, I have to flex my arm in a very awkward way so that my thumb can get at the button toggle here. The buttons controlling music, volume and phone calls are a little more accessible than the noise cancelling toggle, but still not accessible enough because my arm still has to be in a rather awkward position trying to get at these buttons because of my abnormally large biceps. So I feel that these buttons should be located further down the ear cup. Just a suggestion, maybe they should have relocated the USB-C port and the audio input jack to the other ear cup so that they can move the buttons down. But why Sennheiser did not adopt that approach baffles the mind, really. Number 2, the ear cups can articulate, but I would rather that they can fold down flat, like the Sony's. So the Sony's can do this, right? So that when you put it on your shoulder, it nicely folds into place and does not interfere with your neck. These headphones, they don't fold flat, so if you ever have to hang them on your neck, it's gonna feel very constrictive, like you have a big anaconda around your neck. This is not a very nice feeling compared to what you can experience with the Sony's. The Sony's are like this. Let me show you. Okay, I've got the Sony's here. So they fold flat, right? So when I hang them around my neck, they practically stay out of the way. And I can turn my head freely, you see? So this is a lot more comfortable for like if you intend to wear these headphones for long periods of time, unless you are perfectly okay with having them on your head all the time. Probably not a lot of people will want to do that, so I hope that the next version of these Sennheiser Momentum headphones will feature a fold-in, fold-flat design. These Sennheisers also stick out a little more when you wear them compared to the Sonys. So if you put these Sennheisers on, you can sort of tell that, you know, because of the way the frame is designed, they jut out a lot more from your head, making your head appear bigger, whereas the Sonys are a more discreet design. So let me put this on to illustrate. See how they seem to conform to the shape of my head? Yeah, so this makes the Sonys look a lot more discreet than the Sennheisers. If discreet is your thing, the Sonys are a great choice. Otherwise, the Sennheisers, they really do make a statement. Of course, if making a statement is what you want, then the Sennheisers are a great choice, right? But this also translates to the Sonys being more comfortable to sleep in on a plane. So if you're on the plane seat and you turn your head sideways to, take a nap, right? The Sonys will feel a little less obtrusive compared to the Sennheisers. The Sennheisers, in contrast, here, let me just show you. If you try to sleep on the plane with these, it's a little tough. You might as well just sleep like facing forward instead of trying to lie on your side. But apart from these few sticking points, the Sennheisers are a great choice. Excellent build quality, amazing sound quality, superb voice microphone quality, the best I have ever experienced in a pair of headphones, any headphones. It's also got an array of Bluetooth codecs to play with, Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C charging, an app that allows you to customize the Sennheiser's sound signature to suit your listening preferences. So taking into consideration all these factors, $400 might not seem like a lot more money to spend than the $350 you are gonna spend on the Sonys. So the Sennheisers should be on your short list of the best wireless noise cancelling headphones that you can buy right now. But I want to know what you guys think. Based on what you have seen thus far in this video, the noise cancelling test, the microphone quality test, and what I've said about these two headphones in terms of sound quality, do you think these Sennheisers are a much better purchase than the Sonys despite costing $50 more? Tell me in the comments section below, and I look forward to reading and responding to your comments. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Aaron. You're watching Aaron's Design Wireless, and as always, if you like this video, please punch that like button with a vengeance, share this video with your friends, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and remember to ring the bell to join my notification squad because I upload new videos every single week, and this is the only way YouTube will notify you. So smash that like button with every fiber of your being. Punch that bell like you have never punched anything before. Oh, by the way, are you a humble person? Because if you're a humble person like me, this shirt is a great way to show your friends how humble you really are. And whenever you look in the mirror, to admire yourself of course, it will also help to remind you to always be humble. So guys, this is a pretty fun shirt to wear. You can check it out in the link below. It's available in t-shirt, tank top, and hoodie. Your purchase helps keep this channel going, and I appreciate your support, bros.